Some houses are built from wood and stone. Others are built from memory. This one was different. It didn't wait to be lived in. It watched. It listened. And over the years, it learned to keep the people who stepped inside. Tonight, you'll hear what happened to the last family who entered its walls, and the one child who walked out with every secret the house tried to bury. This is the story of the family who moved into the breathing rooms. To fold her into its structure the way it had folded Daniel, to make her part of its architecture, forever. A violent tremor ripped through the room. The radiator shrieked, metal twisting under impossible pressure. The wallpaper curled inward like burning paper. Blue light burst from the seams in the floor, the cracks in the ceiling, the joints in the walls. Daniel forced himself upward, not as a shape, not as a ghost, but as a pressure that bent the air around Lily. The floor shuddered. The opening paused. Lily staggered. Her father reached again. The house slammed the floor upward, a sudden, brutal jolt, knocking him backward into the wall. He hit hard, slid down, didn't get up. Her mother crawled toward him, sobbing. The house ignored her. Its attention was on Lily. Only Lily. Daniel pushed again, a desperate, ragged shove, and the blue light flared bright enough to cast shadows. The opening beneath Lily froze. The house hissed, a deep, structural groan that rattled the bones of the room. The shape behind her tilted, angles folding inward, like a room trying to kneel. Lily whispered, "Stop." The room stilled. The house listened. Daniel held the opening closed with everything he had left. He was tearing, splitting, unraveling, but he held. She looked down at the seam, at the depth beneath it, at the place the house wanted her to go. Her voice was small, soft, terrified. "It's not trying to eat me." Her mother sobbed. Her father groaned, half-conscious. Lily swallowed. "It's trying to put me somewhere." The shape behind her leaned closer. The room inhaled. The house waited. Lily whispered, "It wants to store me." The floorboards around the opening began to ripple, not outward, inward, curling toward Lily like fingers. The shape surged forward. The room convulsed. The house pressed its will into the space, a crushing, suffocating pressure that made the air vibrate. Daniel screamed, a soundless, structural vibration that shook the walls. The blue light flickered, dimmed, brightened, dimmed again. He was losing. The house was stronger. It always had been. The opening beneath Lily widened another inch. Her foot slipped. Her mother shrieked. Her father crawled forward, dragging himself across the floor. The house pushed him back with a ripple of wood. Lily teetered. The shape leaned in. The room bent inward. The house prepared to take her. And Daniel, what was left of him, gathered every fragment of self he still possessed. He pushed, hard. The blue light exploded outward. The room shook. The opening slammed shut beneath Lily's feet. The house roared, not with sound, but with motion. The walls buckling, the ceiling dropping, the floor heaving. Lily fell backward into her father's arms. The shape recoiled. The room convulsed. Daniel collapsed into the studs, scattered thin as dust. And the house, furious, denied, starving, began to rewrite the room around them. The room didn't collapse. It rearranged. The floorboards rippled outward like water disturbed by a stone. The wallpaper peeled back in long, curling strips, revealing older layers beneath. Florals from the 70s, stripes from the 40s, bare plaster from a decade no one remembered. The ceiling bowed, then straightened, then bowed again. as if the house were testing different shapes. Her mother dragged her father backward, his weight heavy, his breath shallow. Lily stood alone. The house was reshaping the space around her, not randomly, not chaotically, purposefully, like a surgeon preparing a table, like a predator preparing a nest. The floor beneath Lily softened, not like rot, not like decay, like fabric, like something woven. She staggered. The boards beneath her feet rippled, adjusting to her weight, contouring around her toes. Her father tried to stand. The floor rose beneath him, a gentle, firm swell, pushing him back down. Her mother screamed. The house ignored her. Its attention was on Lily. Only Lily. The walls contracted another inch. The room grew smaller, tighter, more intimate, like the inside of a throat. Lily whispered, "It's making space." A thin line of blue light flickered along the baseboards. Weak, frayed, barely there. Daniel. He tried to push again, a tremor through the studs, a pulse through the plaster. But the house swatted him aside like a hand brushing dust from a table. The blue light sputtered, dimmed, went out. Lily gasped. "He's hurt!" Her father groaned, trying to crawl toward her. The floor pushed him back again. Her mother sobbed. The house tightened the room another inch. The ceiling lowered. Not enough to touch their heads. Just enough to make the air feel heavier. The walls bowed inward. The floor rose in places and sank in others, creating a subtle slope toward the center of the room. Toward Lily. The house was shaping the space like a funnel, a channel, a path. Her father shouted her name. Her mother clawed at the floor. Lily didn't move. She stared at the shifting geometry, the shape that had stepped through the tier, as it folded itself into a new configuration. Angles sharpened, corners bent, edges aligned. It was becoming something. Not a creature, not a person. A room. A room shaped like a mouth. A room shaped like a memory. A room shaped like a place to put her. The shape leaned toward her. The air around her shimmered. Her hair lifted. Her breath fogged. She whispered, "It's not trying to kill me." Her mother sobbed. Her father shouted. Lily swallowed. "It's trying to store me." The shape pulsed. The room inhaled. The floor beneath her softened again, this time sinking, slowly, like a bed of warm sand. Her feet sank an inch, then another. Her father screamed. Her mother lunged. The floor rose between them, a wall of wood and plaster and memory, blocking them off, separating them. The house had made its decision. It would take Lily, and it would take her alive. A violent crack split the ceiling. Blue light burst through the fracture. Daniel forced himself back into the room, not as a shape, not as a ghost, but as a force, a pressure, a distortion, a scream made of architecture. The room convulsed. The shape recoiled. The floor froze. Lily gasped. Her father reached for her. Her mother sobbed her name. Daniel pushed again. A surge of blue light that made the walls tremble. The house hissed. A deep, structural groan that rattled the bones of the room. The shape folded inward. The room bent. The floor hardened beneath Lily's feet. And for the first time, the house hesitated. Lily whispered, "He's back." Her father whispered, "Who?" Lily turned. Her voice was soft, certain. The man who forgot he was alive. The room held still. Not peacefully. Not safely. The stillness felt like the moment before a muscle spasms, a tension so tight it hummed in the air. The house wasn't confused. It wasn't frightened. It was calculating. The blue light around Lily flickered, thin as breath on glass. Daniel strained to hold it. He was unraveling, a smear of memory stretched across too many years, too many walls. But he held. For now. The house didn't attack immediately. It withdrew. Just an inch. Just enough to make the room feel like it had exhaled. Her mother dared to breathe. Her father pulled Lily close. And that was when the house struck. The floor buckled, not upward, sideways. A violent, lateral shift that sent her father skidding across the boards like a piece of furniture shoved by an unseen hand. He slammed into the far wall. Her mother screamed. The house didn't care. It wasn't punishing him. It was removing him. The floor rippled again, a wave of wood and plaster, and her mother was thrown in the opposite direction, sliding across the boards until she hit the radiator with a sickening thud. Lily stood alone. The house had cleared the space around her. A stage, a spotlight, a surgical field. The ceiling dropped. Not enough to crush, just enough to force Lily to her knees. The air thickened. Her ears rang, her vision blurred. The house was applying pressure, not to kill, but to compress, to make her small, to make her still, to make her easier to fold. Daniel pushed again, a desperate, ragged surge of blue light, and the ceiling rose an inch, just an inch, but enough. Lily gasped. Her father groaned. Her mother sobbed. The house hissed, a deep structural groan that rattled the bones of the room. It was angry now, not furious, not wild. Focused. The way a surgeon becomes focused when the patient starts to slip. The walls moved, not inward, around. They rotated, a slow, grinding shift, until the room's corners no longer aligned with reality. The wallpaper twisted. The floorboards warped. The ceiling bowed. The room became a shape that didn't exist in human geometry. Her father shouted her name. Her mother crawled toward her. The house rotated the room again. Her parents slid away from her. Not violently, not cruelly, just efficiently. The house was separating them, not to harm them, to isolate the peace it wanted. Lily. Blue light erupted from the cracks in the floor, from the seams in the walls, from the fracture in the ceiling. Daniel forced himself into the center of the room, a distortion, a pressure, a presence that bent the air around Lily. The house recoiled. The room convulsed. The shape behind Lily folded inward, angles collapsing like a room trying to hide. Daniel pushed again. The blue light wrapped around Lily like a trembling cocoon. Her hair lifted. Her breath fogged. Her eyes fluttered. She whispered, "I can hear him." Her father shouted, "Lily!" Her mother sobbed, "Baby, come here!" Lily didn't move. She stared into the blue light, into Daniel, into the man who had forgotten he was alive. And Daniel, for the first time since he'd been swallowed, spoke, not with sound, with memory. A flood of images hit Lily's mind. A suitcase, a cracked mug, a sealed door, a night of knocking, a wall that breathed, a scream that never left the room, a name peeling off a brain like old tape, a life dissolving into plaster. Lily gasped. Her knees buckled. The blue light flickered. Daniel pushed harder. The house pushed back. The room bent inward. The floor rippled. The ceiling cracked. The walls contracted. And Lily whispered, "He's showing me what happened to him." The house froze. Just for a moment. Just long enough. And then it struck again. Harder than before. The house did not roar. It shifted. A deep, structural lurch rolled through the room, the kind of movement buildings should never make, the kind that suggested bones instead of beams, joints instead of joists. The floor buckled. The ceiling bowed. The walls contracted in a slow, crushing exhale. Her father slid across the boards again, helpless. Her mother clung to the radiator, knuckles white, breath ragged. Lily stood in the center of the room. The house had arranged everything around her, like a ritual, like a memory, like a meal. The blue light around Lily flickered violently, not dimming, splitting. Thin cracks of light spidered outward across the floor, the walls, the ceiling, as if Daniel's presence were shattering under the pressure. A tremor rolled through the studs, a pulse through the plaster, a vibration through the air. Daniel was screaming, not with sound, with structure. The room shook, the shape behind Lily, the shifting geometry that had stepped through the tier, folded inward, angles collapsing like a room trying to kneel. The house pressed harder. The blue light splintered. Daniel's presence flickered. Faded, returned. Faded again. He was coming apart, unraveling, being scraped thin across the architecture. Lily whispered, "He's breaking." Her father shouted her name. Her mother sobbed. The house ignored them. It pressed harder. The floorboards curled upward at the edges, peeling like petals around Lily. The wallpaper twisted into spirals, revealing older layers beneath, rooms that no longer existed, lives that had been absorbed, memories stacked like sediment. The ceiling lowered another inch. The air thickened. The room's geometry bent inward, folding toward Lily like a throat preparing to swallow. Her father clawed at the rising floor. Her mother screamed for help. The house didn't care. It was reconfiguring, rewriting the room into a shape that could hold Lily. Forever. The shape leaned toward her. The air around her shimmered. Her vision blurred, and then she saw, not with her eyes, with something deeper. A flood of images hit her. Rooms built over rooms, lives lived over lives. People absorbed into walls, floors, ceilings, their memories stacked like layers of paint. Their voices dissolved into vibrations, their bodies rearranged into architecture, their names peeled off their minds like old tape. She saw Daniel's life, his last breath, his scream swallowed by plaster, his awareness smeared thin across the building, his identity dissolving into structure. She saw others, dozens, hundreds, some from decades ago, some from centuries, some from years that didn't exist. The house wasn't haunted. It was full of people who had been folded into its memory, full of lives it had kept, full of names it had forgotten, full of hunger. Not for flesh, for continuity, for company, for order, for symmetry. It didn't want to kill Lily. It wanted to store her, to preserve her, to keep her, to make her part of its architecture, forever. Lily gasped. Her knees buckled. The blue light flickered. Daniel pushed again, a desperate, ragged surge, and the vision snapped. The room convulsed. If this story unsettled you, subscribe and stay close. What comes next goes deeper.